Morning. So just a point of clarity before we start. With all this cool energy around female leadership in the industry, I just want to point out that I'm not a cool female leader. But I do work with many, and I do want to refer back to Gilbert about the young people in the audience, because he obviously saw me backstage. So just something to think about to kick off. So for most of us, we spend more of our attentive time in the digital space rather than the physical space. So what does this mean for companies and brands? What this really means is that a company and a brand today have to create these extraordinary experiences that run seamlessly across the digital and physical world. The visual language of design matters more today than ever before. And data becomes a raw material that we all have access to, but really have to be able to unlock insights and craft intelligence that is very personal. And the companies and the brands that get this mix right are really going to win in this new battleground around experience. Now, there are great companies already doing and delivering great experiences. So just to kick off, I'm very interested to get a sense from you about which companies and brands do you interact with on a daily basis that you would consider to be great experiences. So if you could just grab your mobile, and if you could quickly, if you don't mind, type in thementi.com into the URL. And as you do that, there'll be a question that asks you, from your perspective, which companies are delivering great customer experiences? And once you start loading the company of your choice, we'll see what you guys are sharing on the big screen. If we could just switch across, and here it goes. Those were two wows, one for the video and one for the tool and nothing in between, but that's okay. I've got 20 minutes still to get a wow. That's cool. What's really cool here is we're also getting a great combination of local disruptive companies as well as the well-known international ones. What's also interesting is we're getting a combination of consumer and enterprise companies. And what's also interesting is we're also getting NGOs. And F&B and Takealot and Google seem to stand out extensively, more than Uber, which is also quite interesting. So this is who you are sharing about who you are experiencing every day who deliver great experiences. I thought I would just share with you, for me, a company that I think shares great experiences for me, and that's Nespresso. And it's not because of the coffee, which I love, put that aside. But it's from and I also chose this as a physical example rather than a digital example. It's from the time you walk into the store. It's from the beauty of the design of the capsule to the convenience and methodicalness of the container that the capsules are in. It's the ability to smell and taste the product that you're about to buy, to the way they serve you in the store and place your product in a box that makes you look like you've bought something incredibly special. That, for me, is a great experience. Now, what you might also think is that these experiences are intangible. They're a bit fluffy, quite emotional. And yes, they are, and those are all very good attributes. But customer experience today is also measurable. And we have created the ability to measure customer experience, and I want to share that with you. We have come up with an index with 5 key dimensions. We call this the Love Index. So let's start with fun. Does the experience hold people's attention in an amazingly immersive and entertaining way? Is it relevant? Are you able to digest that experience in a very easy way? Are you able to engage? Does it provide you an experience that's intuitive, that responds to what you're looking for? Is that experience social? Does it connect you with people that you know and people that you want to know? And is it helpful? Does it simplify the task? Does it make the steps easier for you to be able to go through that journey? And then, is these dimensions underpinned by powerful design and applied intelligence that is exceptionally personal? And these are the dimensions today that companies and brands that are building extraordinary experiences, the companies that you shared, and a few others that I'm going to share this morning, are able to deliver these amazing experiences. Now, I'd like to share you one that we worked with in America, Disney. It's one that I think we can all relate to, and I wanted to put these dimensions into a real case study so you can see them come alive. So Disney wanted to make a seamless omni-channel experience across all their channels. And so they engage the imagination of the visitor from the time you decide to go to Disney, through the transaction of the tickets, through the choices of your places in the park, to hotels, to getting your magic band as you arrive, to use your magic band to transact, to use your magic band to get information around rides, priorities, and to be able to use your magic band when you go to the hotel. And so that experience, from the minute you think about going on a Disney trip, to the minute you're in the park, to the minute you're resting in the hotel, all information is seamless and the experience is incredible. But rather than take it from me, considering I still haven't got a wow, I'd rather let you listen to it from a much more impressive person than me, and that's Mickey Mouse.
Hello, who is there? Oh, good. I've been expecting you, darling. Come in.
Come in.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us. We have prepared something quite spectacular for you. A way for you and your family to take your Walt Disney World vacation to an entirely new level. Welcome to My Magic Plus.
The name was a dispute. I won.
My Magic Plus will make your Disney vacation much more personalized.
That is the my.
And provide myriad opportunities for maximum vacation enjoyment.
That is the plus.
My Magic Plus.
Yes. They understand. Moving on.
Beyond this door is an amazing new device that allows you to connect to all the features of My Magic Plus. It's called the Magic Band.
This is no mere accessory. Its power is substantial.
Quite substantial. The Magic Band allows you to tap into all the magic of a Disney vacation.
And you must first tell them about the... Let's just say you need some quick instruction on all of its powers.
With the Magic Band on your wrist, you become a high-powered yet completely relaxed vacation superhero. You will use your band to enter the theme parks.
You will enter boldly.
Access your Fast Pass attractions.
As if you own the place.
Open the door to your room.
Which you won't have to clean.
Make purchases.
That is so passé, darling.
Please note, your new abilities extend beyond the Magic Band. With My Magic Plus, you have gained the power to reserve your favorite things well in advance of your visit, including attractions, fireworks, and Disney character greetings. We call this feature Fast Pass Plus.
The important thing is that this will allow you even more time to be spontaneous.
A final point, all of the magic actually begins here, in this secret location, known as your home. Here you will log into My Disney Experience, the nerve center of My Magic Plus, allowing you to harness all of your new powers. This concludes your briefing. Now simply log in to review all of your new options.
Well done, darling. Prepare to embrace your new powers.
Come on. I don't want to say this, but there's a pattern developing. So what's amazing about that Disney example is just the seamless omni-channel experience between the physical and digital world, and ultimately what experience that gives to a visitor. We're planning to bring that Magic Band to IAB next year, so you can see it live. So let's switch gears slightly and talk about what this means for the bottom line. What is the business impact in terms of experience powered by design and intelligence? What does it mean for the bottom line? So let me ask you this question quickly. How many of you believe that customer experience impacts the revenue and net profit line of an organization if you get it right? Good, raise your hand. 30% of the audience. How many of you feel it doesn't impact the bottom line? Nobody. How many of you don't give a shit? Okay, I got a reaction. I like that. I'll keep talking dirty. So it definitely impacts the bottom line. So, geez, how's that for a distraction? So let's talk a bit about how it impacts the bottom line. So companies on the FTSE have driven 200% more return than others if the company is design-led. Let's talk about turnover, revenue, and profit. There was a study done by Design Corp in Europe. They interviewed 503 companies across multiple different industries. On the revenue side, for every dollar invested in design in a business, they got a $20 increased return in revenues, cross-industry. In terms of profit, for every dollar invested in design, businesses could expect over $4 of increased return on the profit line. Let's talk about online website transaction and whether it holds your attention. Over half of people today on websites and transacting online judge the brand and the company by the website and the online engagement. Over half. Almost 50% will stop engaging with that company or brand if the online experience is just basically unattractive. And if that online web experience doesn't transfer seamlessly to the mobile device, the exponential chance of them just disengaging is super high. So, this tells you how important experience is. We use an example of a think tank photo company. Think tank provides accessories for photographers. They were a physical store predominantly that was providing online information through a website. By doing insights and analytics on the website and trolling the traffic, they started to understand that there was a move from their customers getting information on the website to the mobile phone. And this traffic continued exponentially. So what they did is they set up a platform to co-create a mobile application with their users, with their customers. And they created the mobile application purely based on the desirability and functionality and engagement that their customers wanted. They increased their revenues by 188% in the store by creating that experience. Customer experience matters. Let's switch to data. Now, there are a lot more creative and smart people in the room than the guy on the stage. But let me give you something to think about. Just 10 years ago, the wisest and smartest leaders in the world considered unconventional data from social media, sensors, and multiple feeds, considered unconventional data to be worthless. 10 years later, not even, the most valuable companies in the world base their business model on unconventional data. This is a change which is rapidly rolling out across the world, and will be very prevalent in South Africa and Africa. If you have a look at the last 2 years, 90% of the world's information has been created in the last 2 years. You can imagine what will happen over the next 5 to 10 years. Is this only about consumer data? No way. Corporate data grows 40% exponentially every 2 years. Data is rocket fuel. It's a raw material that sits in all of our businesses, all of our divisions, all of our projects, all of our homes. The question is, how do you unlock it? How do you untap the intelligence? How do you craft that intelligence into something personal, into something meaningful? But, believe it or not, even with all this insight and data, companies waste, on average, $180,000 a year on sending physical mail to customers that they don't know where they are. And so there's a lot of understanding, there's a lot of context, but there's not a lot of execution. And this takes me sort of to the final sort of session here of what I want to share with you and discuss with you is execution is key. We have to know how to start, and we have to be courageous in how we tackle this. So let me use what I think is a great example, but it's a bit controversial. So I want to put the dark side of Kevin Spacey out of this example, because that's not that funny. But I would like to talk about the Netflix situation, because I don't know if everybody knows the Netflix and House of Cards example. How many of you have watched House of Cards US? How many of you watch Netflix? How many of you watch DSTV? Much better to watch DSTV. At last, hallelujah, I got a wow. So, where was I? DSTV, I mean Netflix. So, the story is not really about Netflix, but it's really about the correlation of human behavior and patterns. So how cool is this? You want to hear it? Okay, cool. No, we're having a dialogue, it's cool. How cool is this? So what Netflix did is they firstly analyzed the patterns of their users, and then they correlated behaviors. And that's smart. And what did they find out? They found out that their subscribers, an extraordinary proportion of their subscribers, were watching House of Cards UK. Fact 1. Fact 2, an extraordinary amount of the subscribers were loving series that were directed by David Fincher. Fact 3, the same subscribers were drawn to series and movies where the key actor was this gentleman on the right. And what did they do? They correlated this to create a new type of content called House of Cards US. This content was created based on the correlation of their subscribers' behavior patterns. And today, 85+% of Netflix subscribers say they won't leave Netflix because of House of Cards. The correlation of experience, design, intelligence has a fundamental impact today in terms of the way we drive customer behavior and customer usage to our company and brand. So let's talk a bit about what's going to happen. Because if you believe half of what I've said, which is more than anybody in my office believes when I talk to them, if you believe half of what I said, something's going to change. Something significant is going to change. And there's a range of things that will change, no doubt. But the one thing that I want to talk about that's going to change is the core business model. Businesses today will change their business model because of this. Let me share a couple of examples. I want to share an international example with you, and I want to share a few local examples. So Lemonade. How boring is insurance? Okay. Here is a cool company. If you want to listen to the second best keynote of the year besides the one you're listening to now, the best keynote I've listened, that was a joke, by the way, the best keynote that I've listened to this year is by the founder of Lemonade. If you go and have a look at the Insurance Digital Conference in Berlin, not now, a few months ago, and listen to the founder talk about Lemonade, I promise you, you will not be the same after that 10 minutes. Lemonade was founded 4 years ago. It's a casualty and property insurance company, all online, basically transforming the way you buy and get paid in insurance. You can get insured in 90 seconds at max, online. You get paid on a claim in 3 minutes, max. When it comes to intelligence, the amount of brokers are very low, and the amount of bots and artificial intelligence is exceptionally high. Today, they're even developing artificial intelligence and bots that talk to each other within the organization, not only outside of the organization. For every one actuary, typically insurance businesses for products and services hire actuaries. For every one actuary, they hire 5 data science data engineers. Completely different employment model. And then, because of behavioral science, this is a company which business model is built on a combination of behavioral science, intelligence, technology, and great design. They hire chief behavioral scientists, PhDs in behavioral science. They do a flat fee monthly subscription because they know the behavioral model around risk. And then, if they don't use all those fees, they also know that their customers want to know they're working with companies that are sustainable and that do good. They give transparent, unclaimed fees to charity. This is a revolutionary business model.
You have a lot of stuff, and you love the things you own. You never want anything bad to happen to them. That's why you get insurance. But old insurance kinda sucks. You pay every month, then when you need help, they give you the runaround. It's because they make money when they say no. That's wrong. Lemonade is different. When you pay, we take a small, flat fee. The rest goes to covering your stuff. So if something happens, we pay super fast. And since we don't have brokers, we're super cheap. All this is available from the comfort of your smartphone. But here's the best part. Most years, we'll have money left over. We take that cash and we give back to causes that matter to you. This is what insurance was always meant to be. Protecting people and strengthening communities. That's what we're all about. That's Lemonade.
So, amazing disruption. So, what's happening in South Africa? Do we have equal disruption? And yeah, we do. We have shit-hot startups. That's dirty again, you're supposed to sort of... we have amazing startups that are disrupting businesses today. Let's talk about EKJ. How many of you have heard of EKJ? Let me tell you what they do. They are redefining connectivity in the townships. They have built a data network with routers in the homes, with call centers in the township to service the customers. And you buy data on prepaid card from PEP stores, and if you buy a 5 Rand card, they give you 5 Rands of data. And they have the connectivity in the Western Cape townships. Without anybody knowing, they own the connectivity layer in the townships. They're moving to Gauteng to do the same. Let's talk about the Y Group, mobile payments. They're moving payments from your wallet to the mobile and connecting rewards, gaming, and a range of point-of-sale activities. 5 billion rands of transactions, 5 billion rands of transactions run through this privately owned entrepreneurial company. Let's talk about Bank Zero. Launched a month ago. It's going to be the first or one of the first completely physicalless banks. No branch, no paper, 100% digital transactions. And let's talk about Discovery Vitality. They didn't sell you health insurance. They sold you a healthier lifestyle. They changed the game from insurance to health. Fantastic examples of how models are changing in South Africa. So, in closing, what's important is that we start. We start understanding that experience is changing the game and that it's powered by great design and applied intelligence. And I wanted to share with you a few things of just how we get going, and then to close off with a South African company that has done this. So firstly, get the teams to focus on the customer's biggest pain points. And the way you do this is you reorganize your company to be customer-centric, to be immersed around the customer. Don't become creepy with your customers. Don't offer them something they didn't know you were going to offer them. Don't be unsure about what you're giving them. Don't be a little bit cautious or a little bit clandestine with their data. Be transparent. Be bold. Tell the customers what you're sharing, what you're doing. Focus on baking in good data and good intelligence. Don't bolt it on. Don't have a couple of people on the outside providing you with the information. Bake in data scientists, applied intelligence, visualization people into the department to unlock this rocket fuel of raw data. A picture text tells 1,000 words. Create an environment for the business leaders to see how the data comes to life. Use visual tools. Use graphics. Create war rooms, rumble rooms, where executives can come in and see how design and intelligence is coming to life. We have our own studio in our office, and we bring our executives through weekly now to see the work we're doing with our clients physically and bring it to life visually so they can see what a design-led and an intelligence-led experience really means. And don't be too concerned about the legacy. We've all spent a lot of money on legacy technology, we get it, but cloud services, pay as you need, are very transformative when it comes to a cost line. Move to the cloud quickly with new services that you want to be able to deliver. And then finally, the metrics. Don't be stayed with the typical metrics. Come up with creative new metrics and be comfortable to change them. Measure the customer journey throughout the life cycle. Measure whether your customers come back to you. Measure whether you're able to offer the customers different products. Be creative with the metrics. Test them. Prototype metrics like you prototype a product. Come up with metrics that are lovable for the company, that people can gravitate towards, and they make a big difference in terms of the way you look at your business. And in closing, to bring this home, is that this is a great example, MMI, one of South Africa's leading financial wellness companies listed on the JSE. This is a company that's doing this today. We're very fortunate to partner with MMI around their retirement process, the ability for people to make good decisions around whether they keep their money in a retirement fund or exit, and that decision has a material impact on people's lives if they're not informed. And we partnered with MMI, we're fortunate enough to win a gold Lurie through this, to create a new experience that could really change the way their employees look at their retirement funds. Have a listen to this great story.
Employee benefits can be really difficult to understand when you resign. Often taking cash is the easiest thing to do, and most people don't understand the importance of saving that money to maintain their standard of living in retirement. At Momentum, we pay out close to 10 billion rand a year when employees resign, with close to 60% of that being taken as cash instead of saved. With 25,000 resignations a month, we saw a real opportunity to disrupt the industry and make a difference to people's lives and their dependents. We focus on helping members plan for tomorrow by developing trust, by providing financial and tax information in a language they could understand and in a visual format that was very simple to grasp. In less than 6 months, we redesigned the resignation experience, simplified the process, cut the time HR teams spend on paperwork, and changed behavior of members by getting them to save their pensions. Reduced Momentum's cash-out rate by 43%. Increased the Momentum preservation rate by 600%. Gave thousands of ordinary South Africans access to financially independent retirement.
So, the way we see it, the companies and brands that will succeed will be the companies and brands in this digital disruptive age that grapple and struggle with customer experience, deliver extraordinary experiences to their customer, powered by design and intelligence. Thank you for letting me share the stage with you this morning.